Welcome to Midlife Youth Club with me, Cameron Jack.
And me, Sarah Simons.
Welcome.
Right, so this week we've got all sorts to talk about.
Ooh!
We've got our icons of the week. We've got our what's up your rabbit hole.
Yes, or down.
Or down your rabbit hole, either or.
Yep.
And we've got our theme. Cameron, what is our theme for this week?
Our theme this week is, and this is massive, do we need friends?
Do we need
No,
friends?
No,
Not those friends,
Nope.
not those friends.
Nope.
Do we need friends? So that's quite a big one to explore, isn't it?
I feel like I could talk for hours on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we do talk for hours,
We do.
don't we? Before we get into our icon of the week.
Oh, a theme!
Have you got any news for me? Has anything exciting happened since I last saw you?
A couple of nice auditions. Didn't get a massive job film. I seem all private, and it's like I'm keeping information to myself.
You're not allowed to say,
I'm
are
not
you?
allowed to say. But it was a big film. Didn't get it. Thanks, but no thanks. We've gone in a different direction. You know that.
Yeah,
vibe.
but that's just an actor's life,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's just an actor's life.
But I'm now up for a film with Channing Tatum.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So
Is he Magic Michael?
He was Magic Michael. He's one of the Magic Michaels.
I've never seen that, but I know it's a
Neither
thing.
have I.
Has it got men's bottoms in it?
It has, I think, yeah. Strippings.
Oh.
So up for that. We've got to the last two for a commercial. Didn't get that. So it's the usual. It's
Lots of
ebbs and
auditions.
flows,
Yeah.
lots of auditions. Wait until one lands.
Yeah.
I have got my episode of Unforgotten coming up as well.
Unforgotten.
Yeah, getting written back in as a character I played during the COVID, which we spoke about.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's lovely. So I'm getting busy and trying for more.
Yeah.
What about you? What have you been up to?
I've been away on holiday.
Yeah, you went up Egypt, didn't you?
I did. I went up Egypt. Me and my partner went. My partner. I don't know what you're supposed to call them at this age. It feels
Boyfriend.
weird saying boyfriend because he's 55.
Other half?
No, I don't like other half because it makes me think that I'm not complete on my own, and I am.
Love interest?
My love interest, my fancy man.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Me and my fancy man went to Egypt. We went to Sharm el Sheikh. It was a lovely beach holiday. We did some excursions.
You did?
We went driving dune buggies in the sands, which was really good fun. I was covered in muck.
Your love interest's a bit of an action man. He likes the activities.
He does. He likes activities.
Yeah.
So I'm doing new things that I probably wouldn't have done before. We went on a water park and I went down one of them slides.
You did.
With the massive tubes where
Yeah.
you're on a thing and it felt like I was in a slow motion car crash which was happening underwater. I did not enjoy it.
I don't think it's pleasant.
It went really,
Yeah.
really fast. And then I came out and water went up my nose. I didn't know if my contact lenses were going to fly out.
Yeah.
And it was just very stressful. But I did it. He
Yeah.
did it at the same time. He was on a different one at the same time.
but
So we
he
shot
would have-
out and he was like, woo, let's
would have
go again.
He would have found it fun. But please tell our punters about the man falling off the camel. Which your other half, Mickey, found hilarious.
We went riding on camels, and I've done some horse riding lessons in the past couple of years. As I know, I'm trying new
Horse
things.
riding and paddle and reform as pilots. What is going on with you? You just used to go to the pub.
I know, I'm learning new things. So when we were on the camels, I felt kind of okay, but I was treating it like it was horse, so I was gripping it with my thighs, gripping it. So as it was wandering about, I felt quite secure. And then when we were getting off, these two fellas, who were the camel wranglers, came to help me off. And so as the camel's kneeling down and going back, there were these two blokes either side helping. The bloke because they'd given me their attention, the older bloke next to me, and he must have been in his 60s. I'd got off the camel. Yeah, he was older than us.
Right.
I wasn't saying older bloke, he was older than us, because 60, you're just starting.
You're just starting.
60's the new 25. I got off, and as I turned round, I heard poof. And I was like, what? And this fella had just completely shot off his camel as the camel was kneeling down. And so much so that he was on his front, and his hands were like that. He was still holding onto the front of the camel bit, and it was still like on his kind of, as if he was bending down on his knees. He was in the exact same position he'd been on. And my first thing was to go, "Oh, are you all right? Are you all right?" And I looked over, and my boyfriend was like this. He was trying so hard not to laugh, and I was like, "Stop it." And it was he couldn't stop laughing. As soon as we were somewhere, the bloke was fine. Yeah. He had a little bit of a hurt his shoulder.
Yeah.
But he
died.
The bloke was fine, but it was like such a bang on the floor.
Do you remember my rabbit hole a few weeks ago was people falling over?
Yeah. And do you know what? For the rest of the day, about every hour or so, I'd just see my partner with chuckling and proper tears rolling down his face. He found it so hilarious. And then for the rest of the holiday, actually, every so often I'd catch him
to the camel,
and I was like, "What?" And he was just like, "Oh, that camel, that bloke falling off the camel. Oh, it was brilliant." And the other thing was, all the men there, because it seemed like the only ladies who worked we were in like an all-inclusive big place. And someone's done well for themselves. It was almost all run by men, apart from in the beauty parlour.
Yeah.
But everyone referred to him as boss or boss man.
Mickey.
Yeah. You're right, boss man. They referred to all men as boss man. And if I was with him, I'd be completely ignored. But he found it very hilarious that every like receptionist, every man there who was, doing. There was no waitresses, it was all waiters. There was no reception, ladies on any sort of. It was all men. But every time they called him boss or boss man, he'd do this.
He's very mature.
Because he was so excited by it.
And they didn't call you boss women?
No. Well, at first when they were saying, "Yes, boss," I'd go, "Excuse me, yes?" Assuming they were talking to me.
Because you're in charge.
Yeah, just in general, yeah. But no, I was either completely ignored as a female, or if I was with him,
yeah,
or if I was on my own, I'd have all the attention ever.
Yeah.
Which was a little bit uncomfortable.
Did you stray from the complex, from the all-inclusive?
We did. We went out on that trip, but we went looking at the shops, which were just like knockoff shops.
I love a knockoff shop.
I can't be doing with it.
Oh no, I love a knockoff shop.
Knockoff handbags, knockoff jewellery, and they weren't shy about being.
No.
There was a Tesco's, which obviously wasn't a Tesco's. It was
Fresco's.
No, it was called Tesco's.
Right.
They've got this range of clothes shops called George Clooney's menswear or something, and there's a picture of George Clooney on it. It's like, is it though?
Does George know?
I don't know.
I don't think he does.
And there's a lot, there's a lot of them, but they're not shy in going, these are knockoff. These are all,
Sometimes they put a wee twist on the name, like George Looney or...
Yeah, they didn't bother.
Bazda.
Bazda. They didn't bother at all. We did go out once to have a little look around the shops, but as we were going out of the hotel, there was, every time you come in and out of the hotel, they put mirrors sort of under the cars check, and they have people with dogs and guns and stuff come and sniff it. So we did get a little bit, not sure how
I forget sometimes with dogs like
is.
that, like police dogs, sniffer dogs, I forget they're working in airports. I'm like,
a dog! Well, these were like massive wolves, and I thought, as much as I do want to give that dog a cuddle, it might have my arm off.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been up to.
How was the food?
Oh, nice. It was lovely. I put on £9 in a week.
Fuck it.
£9.
It's holiday, right?
It's a holiday, I know, but I don't want to be creeping back up to like my biggest size. I went down to my smallest. I lost 9 stones.
Yep.
And then I've put like a stone, 2 stones in total back on now. So I'm getting that back off.
Yeah.
I'm getting that back off. But a lot of it was because I came off me injections.
Right.
Because I had my knockers lifted.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm lifted and made smaller. So
well done.
Thank you. So my body has changed shape a lot, but I came off the medicine for sort of 3 months, and that's kind of messed me about. But I'm back on it now, so I'm going to get back down to the size that I want to be, which is fine. I've just got to keep an eye on it. We
spoke very briefly about going back to weight loss. I've got a film. I've mentioned it a couple of times that I've written, co-producing, and I'm hoping to play the lead in. But I have to lose 2 stone.
Yeah.
Because it's backstory. But I don't know how I'll do that. I'm just going to have to try and do it.
Food's brilliant, isn't it?
Food is brilliant.
It's really nice.
Noodle doodles, angel delight.
Sandwich spread.
Oh, sandwich spread.
The 80s Prince's cherry pie filling.
I thought you were talking about the Prince's beef paste that you put on.
Yeah, but beef paste also, but Prince's cherry pie filling.
But you judge your pie.
Prince's cherry pie filling. That's quite hard to say. Do you know you can't get it anywhere? I've been looking for it.
Oh.
I've been in all different... I can't even get it off the internet. Cherry pie filling.
It won't be the same. Does it not be an Aldi version or a Lidl version?
I've been. Can't find one. So if anybody knows where I can get cherry pie filling...
Yeah.
And it's not cherries in juice. It's just like in this real thick, sugary sauce.
You just want to fill your pie. Right.
Right. Icon of the week.
Icon of the week.
Who is your icon of the week, Cameron Jack?
Okay, so I have a very definite icon of the week, and it is Mr. Drumroll, please. John Davison, the Tourette's campaigner that the film I Swear is based on. And I watched the film. So in the 80s, there was a documentary on John Davison called John's Not Mad. And it was a documentary about his Tourette's journey as a kid. And I remember watching it and thinking, what an amazing bloke. Just the courage, the fortitude. So,
you see, I remember watching it and going to school the next day and everybody was going, fuck off!
Yeah.
It's all right, I've got Tourette's.
Yeah. I remember all
saying
that as well.
awful things to everybody all the time and then going, it's all right, I've got Tourette's. Because it's the first time we'd ever
exactly.
Heard
That's
of it.
That's what I was going to say. So nobody
just
was
didn't
familiar
know it was
with
a thing at all. And so
Yeah.
it seemed like just at that time, before we knew anything properly about it seemed like an excuse just to shout and swear and say horrible things to people and then go, Tourette's.
That's kids for you, innit?
Yeah.
So a couple of years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, I was asked to audition for a film called I Swear, which is the film of John Davison's life. I got the gig and couldn't do it because I was doing something else. So I had a sort of vested interest in it.
Yeah.
I watched it the other week. It's an incredible film.
Yeah.
And the central performance, because Robert, the lead actor, is from Hull, does an incredible Scottish accent, and it's just a beautiful performance and rightly deserving of the BAFTA, and there were some actors in that category.
Yeah.
So that's
So
my
John
icon.
Davidson.
John Davison.
Yeah. Oh,
MBE.
brilliant.
I
John
think it's
Davidson, MBE.
MBE.
Yeah, because he's done loads and loads of work, hasn't he, in inclusion and kind of explaining what it's about and making people who have Tourette's feel normalised and feel like
Seen.
Yep. You know, so he's done a lot of work in that sort of inclusive area, hasn't he? Brilliant.
Incredible bloke. Yeah. Who's your icon of the week?
Oh, my icon of the week is lovely Pamela Anderson.
Oh my God.
Love Pamela Anderson. So
I told you I had posters of Pamela Anderson when I was at drama school on my wall.
The Baywatch posters with that tiny little bikini. Not the little red swimsuit, wasn't it?
Yes.
Which,
and Barbed Wire was her sort of post Baywatch movie.
Yeah.
She was a kind of action hero.
Yeah.
But she's an incredible woman.
Yeah, and there's been a few documentaries of her in recent years, documentaries and dramas about her life when she was, in that time in the 90s, and she went through a lot, didn't she?
She did,
really did, and she just comes across in all of those as a lovely human being.
Yeah,
clever, funny, really talented actor.
Yeah, she is.
And almost the way she looks is kind of secondary. It's something that other people have put on her rather than a way that she seems to kind of identify with. I think she's aware of what she looks like, but it's not her. It's not her identity.
She's not. I've seen a couple of interviews. I saw her on Graham Norton. She's not a lot of makeup.
Yeah, that's a thing, isn't it? That she doesn't. It's kind of. she was so well known for having this look, this makeup, hair and look with, you know, really full on brows. You know, it was those tiny little brows, loads of eye makeup, loads of like really obvious makeup. And she looked brilliant in it.
Yeah,
it was
she
very
was gorgeous.
glamorous, very, you know, that kind of 90s glamour. She looked fabulous. But she's being, in some ways, kind of rebellious nowadays by turning up to premieres and stuff with or fashion shows, you know, really big fashion shows without any makeup on.
Yes.
And she's so beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
She's absolutely
Bone
beautiful.
structure
You know.
Is she seeing the Liam Neeson?
I don't know. I'd like to think
There's
she
rumours.
was. I'd like to think she was.
Yeah. You were talking about the 90s. Do you remember that whole ladette culture?
Ladettes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
And I wonder if that was a bit of a pushback to the whole, you know, glamour, Pamela Anderson, you know, all of that sort of business. But then part of it was that sort of feminism, which was owning your own body. So if a woman wanted to wear next to nothing, that was absolutely her right to do so.
Yeah. Do you remember all those magazines, Zoo, Nuts, Heats? All those, they're all gone now, aren't they?
Well, the men's ones are.
Yeah.
And I shall tell you a reason why.
Ooh.
Ooh!
Is this psychology based?
It is.
Go on.
A professor that I know.
You know a professor?
I do get her. He did a piece of work years ago where, and I'm apologies for my kind of muddling up exactly what happened, but it was a big study where there were quotes from these magazines, and it was when these magazines were, you know, really, really big. Quotes from these magazines about how men are describing women. Ooh. And there was also a series of quotes how convicted rapists were also describing women. And in this study of lots and lots of people, they had to guess which was the lads' mags and which was the convicted rapists.
You're
and
joking.
People couldn't tell. People weren't saying, "Oh, this is obviously a lads' mag and this is a convicted rapist." How he talks about women, and this piece of research got so much publicity because it was quite shocking, and it really made people go, "Hang on, is this how like it's okay to talk about women in this way?" And it was got loads of media coverage, and it was not long after that those magazines sort of ended.
Yeah, they were of the
because
time
of this, and it was, you know, partially due to this piece of research.
That's incredible.
That was proper psychology, scientific research. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't a Cosmo quiz.
No.
Couldn't tell the difference.
That's academia.
Yeah.
Doing its thing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but kind of pushing culture forward.
Yeah.
You know, and kind of alerting us to things that are happening that we're not really noticing. So, hooray! I'm a big fan of that professor. Right. Big fan. He's done lots of really interesting stuff. So I think we've covered our icons.
I'm a professor of chat.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's why I'm doing a podcast. I wish I was a professor.
So...
Pamela, we done with Pamela?
We've done Pamela, we've done John Davidson. Let's go to our main theme, which is, do you need friends?
Yes.
All right, well, that's it then. The end. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Are friends important to you, Cameron?
Oh, God, yes. Yes. So, are they important to you?
Yes.
So, yeah, we're done. As I've got older and had some trials and tribulations, that's when you realise the importance of it.
Yeah.
And there's somebody, I think it was Hannah Jane Fox, my lovely friend, who I was in We Will Rock You with, and we were at drama school with. Right. Mega talent. She described friendship to me as like a train. So you get on the train when you're a kid. That's your train journey, and you progress through the stations. And every so often at the station, somebody gets off, but somebody else will get on.
Yeah.
And the train progresses, more people get off, friends get on. And by the time you get to the end of the journey, there's just a few you sitting in the carriage. And I just thought it was she's a smart girl. So it's a really beautiful way to put
Yeah.
it.
That is lovely.
Yeah,
That's really
I
lovely.
lean on my friends a lot. Obviously, I've spoken to you. I mean, I live on my own.
You're still leaning on this cushion,
Yeah,
aren't
I'm
you?
leaning on it. Yeah.
Your comfort
I
cushion.
like a little comfort blanket.
Yeah.
Like a small child. So I've noticed I live on my own, hang out with my kid a lot, and I hang out with the dog a lot, and I don't feel I need much more than that where I'm at now, but I do lean on those old friends a
Yeah.
lot. And what I think happens as you get older is the circle sort of decreases. Remember
Yeah.
that sitcom, Ever Decreasing
Yeah,
Circles?
yeah, yeah.
Wonder what that was about. But it's the friendship groups the group becomes smaller, but everybody has a bigger part to play. Can I
Yeah.
shout out to people?
You can if you want.
Ian Byers, Stuart Dale, Stephen Palfreman, and my sis Lorna is like one of my best mates.
Yeah.
I've missed dozens of people. But what tends to happen is, particularly, I don't know if you're like this, Sarah Moth, as I call her, Sarah Simons. I'm talking about...
Fucking hell.
Oh, sorry. Can we...
How hard was that? That
Hold
was
on.
like pulling teeth, wasn't it?
Right,
Trying
well-
to get him to remember that I am one of his friends, and I'm sat actually next to him on a sofa
Is
talking
it-
about friends. Thank you.
Yeah, but you remember you're in charge of editing, so do this. Ian Byers, Sarah Simons, Lorna
Forced
McAway,
now.
my sis.
He's forced
It's
it now.
Stuart Dale. So what I've noticed is, particularly when I'm stressed or in a time of crisis, or also when things are going well, I tend to lean on the same people, and there's only a few of them. I've got loads of lovely friends who are like great. We can chat and
Yeah.
chat and chat, but there's a really tight group of people,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're the same.
Yeah, I am.
And I'm in there, but
He's not.
I'm
Not anymore.
I'm not anymore. But I kind of gravitate towards the same people.
Yeah.
But it's just a small group,
Yeah.
and I've something interesting. So obviously I've spoken to you about financial stresses and strains, which most actors have. I've noticed with those friends, when I talk about stress, they always say the same thing: we'll sort it. They don't say you'll sort it. They all have said at different times, we'll sort it.
Yeah.
Like they're there with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why they're important. I think obviously there's a social aspect. I have great friends. There's a tighter group that are just really like,
Yeah,
they're still,
yeah.
they were on the train a long time ago,
Yeah.
and they'll be on the train at the end.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're important?
Yeah, friends have become increasingly important in my life. I'm a bit of a loner. I like being on my own.
Yeah, so do I.
I really
love it.
value friends, but I
Yeah.
also I'm very happy on my own. I like going to the theatre on my own. I like going to the cinema on my
Cinerama?
own. I like going to the Cinerama on my own.
Do you like going for meals on your own?
Not as much,
Oh,
but
I
it
love
doesn't.
that.
It doesn't bother me to go on my own. But I wouldn't as much enjoy going for a meal
Yeah.
on my own. But I feel quite empowered when I do. As you know, I've talked about it before, how massively my life's changed over the past few years. I
mine.
was married for
45 years.
300 years. And then my marriage ended really abruptly. And so I was married since I was, I was in that relationship since I was sort of 23.
Yes.
So for the majority of my adult life, I'd been part of that relationship, and then I wasn't, and it was very abrupt, and and it was very shocking to me and to lots of everybody who knows us,
Yeah.
who knew me, and who knowed me, and who knowed
I know you a long
my
time.
ex, and and at that point, I just thought, I'm going to have to make a plan to get through this, otherwise I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
So
but
I
you
thought,
did brilliantly.
I thought I'm going to have 2 weeks just hiding,
Yep.
and then I'm going to say to because on Facebook, my friends are all people that I know on Facebook, so I have a really small group.
But we reconnected off the back of that, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I remember saying to you, being on your own is not a bad thing. And I'm not entirely sure you believed me right at the start, but pretty quickly you went,
"Oh yeah, this is brilliant.
Yeah, this is great." I've had this conversation with a lot of Midlife Youth Club members.
Yeah.
People of a similar age, late 20s, early 30s. And quite a lot of my mates are going through divorce and breakups. And I keep saying to quite a lot of them, being on your own is not a bad thing.
No, I had a year being on my own between
flourished. You were brilliant.
My marriage ending and meeting my partner. I had a year being on my own, and I planned to be on my own forever. But
you did. You said
I really
that.
did, and I really enjoyed being on my own.
Yeah.
But on that thing, that was really kind of life changing. Was the Facebook thing that I put on Facebook? You know, this is what happened. My marriage has ended really abruptly. This is what I need from you. I need you to invite me to things. I need you to stay in contact with me. I need to get out.
You mentioned working, getting back to work again.
I need to get back to work. This is what I need your help with.
Yeah.
And it was so moving to me that those people that I hadn't seen or spoken to even for a long, long time got in touch. I was invited all over the world, all different people, reconnected. And people were so kind and so wonderful. I find it really moving even now, thinking about it. But that really rekindled my friendships with lots of people who had kind of drifted away from.
We do.
Yeah, or people that I hadn't seen in donkey's years, but I'd maybe talked to a bit on Facebook. And then, you know, so I've got all these new groups of friends.
I've often said, when it comes to friends and family, I've absolutely, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart because it's going to sound cheesy, I'm an absolute fucking lottery winner.
Yeah.
I've got brilliant friends, I've got brilliant family, and I talk to other people and they don't have it. And I think it's luck. I do.
Yeah.
You can't choose what you're born into, and you can't choose who you meet through your life. And I've absolutely fucking struck out. I'm so passionate about it. Absolute lottery winner.
That's wonderful. And I've had times in my life where I felt like I didn't have many friends. Maybe, you know, when I first moved up to Nottingham, because I moved here because my ex lived here.
It's challenging moving.
And I didn't know anybody. Yeah. So, but there was a good few years where, because my friends are all over the place anyway.
Yep.
Now, I've got loads and loads of friends in Nottingham.
Paddle. You've got your paddle friends.
I've got my paddle friends.
Your reformer pilots friends.
I've got my reformer pilots friends.
What's your other activity that you do? Camel riding?
Yoga.
Yogurt.
Yeah.
You do a bit of yogurt.
Yeah.
And do you have different groups, or do you all do the same bits together?
Some are different groups. Some are the same people. I do a lot of it on my own though, because I do like trying new things on my own. I've forgotten what was I on about? Moving here. There has been periods in my life where I felt very kind of alone,
isolated.
Yeah. And you know, and my ex-husband was really my only friend who was around.
Yep.
But in recent years, I've really, really feel so grateful for the different groups of friends that I have, and from different walks of life and have different interests. But I do know that I like being on my own.
Oh, I love it.
What I've noticed from going to these different things, as in, you know, I tried my horse riding, didn't I? And I made paddle and is how much I get just from like interaction with sort of acquaintances. So there's friends like Sarah Ledger,
legend,
who is, you know, she's my lady, and
people on the planet.
She's absolutely brilliant, and she's one of my bestest friends in the world. And I've got Judith Gefken.
You won the lottery with Ledger, didn't you?
Yeah. And Judith, my American friend, Judith motherfucking Gefken. She has a very big grown-up job, but sometimes she feels a little bit like she needs a bit of confidence. And I always say to her, "What's your name?" She says, "Judith Gefken." "What's your name?" "Judith motherfucking Gefken." So, and I keep sending her things that say JMFG. She's got a little.
Do you mind me asking? Sorry to interrupt you. Do you mind me asking what her job is?
She works in broadcasting software.
Pressure.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but her and Ledger and, people who've really, really been amazing support. And you, Obs.
Thanks, Obs.
And got lots of other, wonderful friends. I've got this group of friends who I met through this woman, Carla, who is absolutely brilliant, who I met because she was at antenatal class when she was having her son. I was having my son. And that's who I do a lot of me activities with, that group, right. That group of friends. But I do know that I like time on my own.
I'm the same. When I moved up to Buckinghamshire to be near my little girl, we were living in Essex, and then we broke up, and but I moved after a year or so, moved up to Buckinghamshire, but I don't have friends there. Where I live.
Was that your arm?
Yeah, it was my arm. Yeah.
Midlife Youth Club. Yeah, that was his arm clicking.
It's like bubble wrap.
That thing that sounded like,
It's a gym. We'll get to gyms later, rabbit holes. So anyway, when I forgot what I was saying. When I moved up to High Wycombe, I noticed that when I went to the gym, nobody spoke to you. Whereas in my gym in Essex, people were chatting.
Yeah.
I had a lovely group of mates there. My neighbours were chatty. Where I am, the beautiful thing is I'm closer to my little girl, but it's quite an isolated place to live. So I've experienced that, but I'm happy on my own, happy with the dog, happy with my kids. Yeah. Do you think, still on friendship, as you've got older, have you been better at cutting people adrift who you find a little bit... I think I've got a couple of people in particular. I look at their stuff on the socials,
who get on his tits, who we can't be doing with, who he's wondering, why are you in my life? Is it out of habit?
I was trying to be diplomatic, but you've fucking just said exactly what I was saying. Do you think I can't be doing with these fucking arseholes anymore? And have you got better at going, I'm not playing that game?
Yeah. And I don't necessarily have that conversation, but I let myself drift.
Yeah. Energy vampires.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I have to say this in an English accent. Mood hoovers.
Say it in your Scottish accent.
Mood hoovers. They suck your mood hoovers.
Mood hoovers. Energy vampires. Yes. People who are just relentlessly negative. I just find that exhausting, and I don't want it in my life.
They're not.
I don't want that.
Yeah, no, we don't want that.
I'm much better at that. I'm quite brutal actually with it, because I just think
you are quite blunt sometimes in a good way.
Yeah, I can't be.
I would have tolerated that 10 years ago. Now I'm like,
can't be arsed. Can't be arsed.
Can't be doing it.
I mean, and I think you can do it in a nice way. You can just let yourself kind of drift, so you don't have to have that conversation. Mm-hmm. But I just don't want to tolerate people who are making my life less.
Yeah. The ring gets smaller, doesn't it? The ring of friends.
Right, yeah. I thought you were going to go somewhere with that when you...
No, I did do it because I knew you would chuckle, because you're one of the most immature people I have ever met.
Thank you!
And that's one of the reasons I like you so much.
Thanks very much.
Yeah. Well, our production manager is 12 and you are more immature than him. He's got a soft mullet.
Oh, yeah, he's got a soft mullet. Will, our production manager.
His hair is cracking, and I thought I would love a soft mullet, but I couldn't. I've got a big bald spot at the back.
Have you, though?
Penalty spot, yeah. I would get a hair transplant, but I'd probably come back with the teeth as well.
What? You don't have to have one or the other?
Oh, yeah, 2 for 1. Bug off.
Yeah. You don't have to have either your teeth done or your hair done.
Well, I get them done at the
I
same
got both boobs done.
Yeah, but
buy one get one free.
Yeah, because they kind of.
Yeah,
I might.
Friendships.
A mate of mine, brilliant lad, Jake Quickenden, mega talent. He's in Jamie Johnson FC with me. Jake's just had Jake's just had a hair transplant, and he's kind of diarising it on his socials. He looks fantastic.
Yeah,
he looks great. Yeah, I would do that.
I wouldn't have anything else done now. I used to think that I would get my neck lifted because my neck is it's...
Your head would be up here.
A neck extension.
A giraffe.
Yeah. I thought I'd get a giraffe neck done. Because I'm really not... Younger people, if you're watching this, this is my only piece of proper solid advice that you must listen to.
Here we go.
put moisturiser on your neck from as soon as you're using moisturiser. Loads of moisturiser, because one day you'll wake up and you look in the mirror and you'll think, what is that? I didn't know I was wearing a skin scarf.
Men's as well.
Yeah. But we don't, put moisturiser on your neck. Loads and loads of it, because there's all sorts you can do for your face. But your neck, unless you have actual surgery for that to happen, it's just there. It's hanging.
And that's why Midlife Youth Club is such a hit. Advice on moisturisation.
Yeah, moisturise your neck. Yeah, because it all just sometimes.
So passionate about
sometimes I see like, and I think, what is that? What is that extra bit of skin there? And it looks like I'm wearing like a tie around my neck, a skin-coloured tie that I've got in a knot, and it's not. It's just my skin. And this isn't because I've lost loads and loads of weight. Because friends who are similar ages haven't, done all of that, have a similar problem and are very concerned about their necks. Yeah, moisturise. But back to friendships. I read this really interesting book. In fact, I can see it from where I'm sitting, called The Good Life, and it's it's a study on happiness, and I think it's from a Harvard psychologist. Really, really well-known, well-respected psychologist. And it's a massive study with thousands and thousands of people involved, and it's over a long time. And the thing that they found, that gives you kind of, ultimately makes you happy, was connection.
Yeah.
And that doesn't necessarily mean friendships. Like friendships in the way that you think of them as best friends or being with people all the time. It's the amount of connection that's right for you. So the amount of connection that you need might be saying hello to somebody who you buy a cup of coffee off, or walking your dog and saying hello to somebody when you walk the dog, or saying hello to somebody when you go in a shop. That might be enough for connection for you, and you might not need any more in your entire life. You might want to be completely alone, and that's the amount that you need. For other people, you might need to be with lots of people all the time, having loads of interaction, lots of friendship groups, lots of stuff you do together, lots of one-to-one interaction, lots of group, lots of, just be busy around people all the time. And that might be what you need to make you happy. But it's a huge spectrum of the amount of connection that you need that's individual to you.
An amazing book, The Good Life. The
Good Life, yeah. Okay. It's really worth having a look at.
Yes, people are just wired up differently, aren't they?
Yeah. And I really like the way that the internet has given access to connection, to like online connection, and that might be the amount of connection that you need.
This is a random one, but I also think having a dog is one of the most social things you can do. Just the amount of people you say hello to, like repeated business, repeat customers. You're like, oh, there's the woman with the Jack Russell, or there's the guy that's got the schnauzer.
And do you know the name of the dog rather than the name of the person?
Always the dog,
I do,
not the person.
In the park.
Not interested in the person.
Yeah, name of the dog.
But I do say hello to people, and because I'm so drawn to dogs, I just feel an instant connection. But it gets you out of the house. It makes you kind of social. So dogs are, And I
think that's one of the reasons why I never got lonely when I was on my own, that I have these two dogs, daft dogs.
I've got my little Coco, haven't I?
Yeah.
Oh, madam.
Because I went from having a house with kid, husband, dad, loads of people in it all the time, to nothing. My dad died, my son left home, my husband left.
And the dogs were still there.
And the dogs were still there. So I went from a very, very busy family home to a single woman's home. A person on their own in the home. And I never felt lonely. And I do think it's because the dogs were always there as well.
When I shoot Jamie Johnson, Coco goes to my mates' mum and dads in Essex, Mick and Joan and Lucy. They look after Coco for me in the summer. But when I go back to the house, I've said quite often, there's no heartbeat in the house when I walk in. And with a dog or a cat or rabbit or Dave the tortoise.
I don't know. Cats seem a little bit ungrateful to me. And to tell you what,
dogs have owners, cats have staff. I like a cat though.
I just have had a new family member move in the last 48 hours.
Yeah.
Who is my partner's daughter's tortoise. So it's not even my step tortoise, is it? It's my step grand tortoise.
And it's Dave.
Dave.
Has Dave come out of his shell yet? Fucking sorry. I've not done panto for a few years.
We got Dave this lovely split level home.
Yeah.
It's quite nice, is his new house. And
Is he appreciating it?
I don't know how you can tell if a tortoise is grateful. I have started calling him Ungrateful Dave.
Most of them are shellfish. So sorry. I used to love panto. He's nice though. He's
nice. It's nice seeing him, and
nice
he's very.
colour.
Oh, I tell you what, we'll have to give him some lettuce in a bit because it's very, very rewarding seeing him eat some lettuce.
Yeah. Let us see how that goes.
Oh, I'm exhausted. I'm rethinking what I said before about friendships. Note to self: Cameron's off the list.
Dad jokes. Where are we next? What are we going to talk about now?
Shall we talk about his rabbit hole?
Oh, get down your holes and up them.
So, rabbit hole, our bit about what's up your rabbit hole.
I've moved my leg, have you noticed?
Oh, was that rabbit hole?
Yeah.
For rabbit hole reasons. It's what we've got a little bit obsessed with. Right,
Yeah.
hang on a sec. Betty the Whippet is home.
She's back.
Would you be able to just let the Whippet in? Because she's just going to stand outside the door.
She's gorgeous.
Wittering.
Witter.
Yeah, the Whippet.
She obviously wants to share her.
She wants to share her thoughts on friendship. She'll come barging in.
Hi.
Thank you. That was William's legs you just saw. And now here's a Whippet wandering round.
You didn't see his soft mullet, but you saw his legs.
Yeah, you saw his legs. That's Walter upstairs woofing at something that's just gone past. Anyway, we digress. What's up your rabbit hole this week?
It's a live rabbit hole.
What do you mean?
It's so...
That was William walking in front of the camera.
Will! Take him off the credits.
Oh.
Put Betty on, get him off.
Betty Whippet.
So...
What's Betty Whippet's role?
Friends. She's just friend.
Yeah, mascot.
Yeah. So my rabbit hole is something that I've experienced time and time again as a gym fan. I love going to the gym. The mental and physical health benefits are outstanding.
Oh, did I tell you? One of my new things.
I was talking. Go on.
I'm having swimming lessons.
Are you?
I'm starting next week.
I need swimming lessons. Alba's a massive water baby and I'm an atrocious swimmer.
I'm quite a good swimmer.
Yeah.
I'm quite a good swimmer, but I've never done front crawl. And I
Oh,
thought,
yeah,
I want to
before.
learn front crawl. So I've booked some swimming lessons
Yeah. Are you
at my
good
gym.
at breast?
I am. I'm
Right.
quite good at breast.
Can you backstroke?
I can, but I don't do it very often because I assume I'm just going to plough into all the other people
Do you know
in
what
the
I
pool.
think is the most impressive stroke?
Butterfly.
Flutterby.
Yeah, I'm
mean,
not
that
ready
looks
for that. I'm
exhausting.
not ready for that. But I thought I'm going to properly learn how to do front crawl.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry,
Do you
Jim.
use a float? Anyway,
Talking about floaters.
So yes, so in the gym, my rabbit hole is bastards who don't wear deodorant and who stink. I was in yesterday and
Smelly people.
yes, smelly people in the gym, and it makes me. I think the word the English people use is gape, but I cannot fathom why you wouldn't wear fresh clothing and deodorize and wash and brush the teeth at any point, but particularly in a gym where people sweat and use equipment.
And yeah, you're touching the equipment.
You're touching the equipment, and I find it, and I'm quite a chilled out guy, I think. I find it fucking offensive. And it really makes me go 0 to 100 in terms of rage.
Does it?
Yeah. And that rabbit hole's not a good rabbit. Some rabbit holes are great, but that one makes me go, just fucking clean yourself up. I don't want to be near you.
Well, you know, I've told you this before, but since COVID,
I've told you this before, but
you
you stink.
smell. You actually smell. My sense of smell doesn't really work anymore. So I don't know if people smell or not, and I can only properly smell if I'm really, really up close to somebody. That's how I can smell them.
Yeah,
I don't get like an ambient.
That's why you're barred from most of the pubs in this area. Hiya.
And even BO, people who apparently have BO, to me it smells really nice.
It's so weird.
No, do you know?
It's
Do
not
you know
your
how?
fault, it's
Do you know
COVID.
how I found out that my smell is a little bit all over the place? I got in a lift with my son, and
Because I pooed myself and I didn't notice.
I got in a lift in a car park
Right.
with my friend and my son, and lots of other people. It was after a gig.
Car park lifts smell of pee.
Well, I got in this lift, and there was a really, really strong smell, and everybody was. To me, it was like coconut, really lovely coconut.
So it's not that you've lost it, it's changed.
And as we were going up, I went, "Oh, that's a lovely smell of coconut," and everybody started laughing. I was like, "What?" And apparently, the lift absolutely stank of pee. But the only thing I got near somebody in the lift who was wearing a coconutty sort of.
So you picked that up, not
And
the
I picked up
overpowering one.
only the coconut smell that I'd got up my nose and couldn't smell it at all. Couldn't smell. And it happened again when we were walking out of the back of a big theatre. My son was doing a show, and it was one of those where you go like through a lot of different sort of outsidey bits.
Like a maze.
Yeah, and a lot of it was outside. We walked past, and there was security, and as they took us down this like path, all I could smell was biscuits. I was like, "Oh, that smells nice, biscuits."
Smells like biscuits.
Do you know what it was?
Shit.
No, it was like skips with loads of rubbish in, loads of like food rubbish.
What the fuck?
And they were Tom and his security and that were like, "What? What are you talking about?" To me, it smelled like warm biscuits.
And this is all COVID related.
Yeah, my sense of smell just doesn't work anymore.
You know what I said to you earlier? I want to do a COVID reflection episode.
Yeah, we will do that because
Yeah.
COVID was. It's almost like we've forgotten about it, isn't it? And it was bonkers.
Yeah.
Anyway, so your rabbit
You
hole.
literally went like that. Anyway, like Frankie Howard. But what is your hole of rabbits?
My hole of rabbits is people who make lovely dinners out of cottage cheese because it's as I said before, I've got some weight to lose. You may notice, but I do want to lose a few more stone to get back to what I was when I'd lost, the big chunk. Okay. Sound like I'm talking about a side of beef. Yeah. And fat-free cottage cheese is. I don't know if you can see Betty in a shot. She's just having a sniff of my plums.
She's sniffing those plums.
Yeah. Hold on. I've got to lift these plums up, otherwise we just sound weird. In case you can't see that there are a load of plums. But aren't they a lovely colour? My partner brought me a big box of plums just so he could say, "Look at my big box of plums." And I thought they were so pretty that I was very happy with them, especially against this dark blue. Anyway.
Back down your hole.
Yeah, back down, away from my plums and back up my hole.
Yeah.
Cottage cheese. What did you say before that cottage cheese reminds you of?
An infection.
An infection. I think we know what kind of infection he meant. Lovely.
I don't know. I've never took to it.
Well, you see,
other kinds of cheese.
Cottage cheese.
Great for protein.
Loads of protein, really low calorie. You blend it up with maybe some cocoa, and some like honey or pretend sugar, and it goes like a mousse. It does.
But so you're saying it takes other flavours well.
Takes other flavours well, but it goes very, very creamy if you blend it.
To me about tofu.
Oh no, tofu doesn't. They're lying about that. The only way tofu tastes nice is if you like put it next to steak and chips, or if you like deep fry it. Load of oil and tofu taste is worth bothering with. But this, no, you just whiz it up. You don't have to add a load of calories. Don't have to add a load of fat to it.
I'm going to try it.
There's other ones I've tried other versions of it which have not quite worked.
Do you like it with pineapple?
Oh, I do. I mean, but I like using it more as a base to make other things. Like if you flatten it and then make it into kind of crisps. Sorry, whippets wittering. My phone's buzzing. It's all go. I'm sat holding a load of plums.
Yeah, not the first time.
It's all go here.
Do you know what I miss?
What?
Cheese, pickle, and pineapple on sticks.
Yeah, pickle.
Yeah, pickled onion.
Oh, cheese pickled. Yeah, hot dog hedgehog.
Dog jog.
Hot dog hedgehog. Yeah, which is, I don't know if the young people know this. It's a load of sausages on sticks.
Oh, yeah.
Coming out, we stick them in like half an orange.
Yep. Great days.
Covered in tin foil.
Great days.
Great days. And that was the height of culinary fabulousness.
With Angel Delight and Noodle Doodles.
Noodle Doodles.
I don't think people remember Noodle Doodles.
Do you know what I've got for our lunch? Bird's eye potato waffles.
Waffly versatile. Grill 'em, bake 'em, fry 'em, meat 'em. Bird's eye potato waffles.
Waffly versatile. Woo-hoo.
Is that a good place to finish?
Yeah, because we're all hungry and want a bit of lunch. Yeah, I've got waffles, beans, sausages. Yeah, so we're having I can't stop fingering my plums.
I know.
Whippet's woofing. Yeah. So on that note, I think it's time for us to say goodbye.
Goodbye. This has been Midlife Youth Club with me, Cameron Jack.
And me, Sarah Simons.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks very much.
See you next time.
Bye. Yeah, that's fine.
Too many energy drinks.